We head out to the fan hotline, and on the line is Odyssey NFL insider Ross Tucker. Insider calls brought to you by Nationwide. For insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Ross, welcome back to the show, buddy.
That was weak, Nick.
Which part?
Well, a couple parts. First of all, when you say it's the fan hotline, it kind of makes it sound like I'm a fan calling in. But then I realize I get it, 92.3 The Fan, so I'm over that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just expected more of you. You got to go hard with it. Like, Nationwide is on your side.
It's insurance.
Like, yeah, you got to really own it.
Yeah, but who owns it? Insurance.
You just read it. Like, if you're going to do the read, do it like it's the commercial. Nationwide is on your side. There's a jingle.
Yeah, but it's insurance. Like you pitch. I can't remember last year. Was it mayonnaise? That's something you got to sell the hell out of.
Mayo game day, be delicious.
I believe insurance sells itself, Ross. I'm a prudent person.
I believe you're a big Mayo guy.
That's fair.
And no lies detected there, Ross.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a big guy who also happens to like mayo. But would you go with McCorkle, or would you trade for Kirk Cousins if you were the 49ers?
So, like, he's not going to be out that long. So I never know, like, if you're messing with me with some of these questions. You want to trade for a guy making $27 million for a week or two? You're the only McCorkle that I'm seeing right now.
I don't know what that means. I don't like it.
I think it was an insult, but I'm not really sure. Hey, Ross, what'd you make of the Browns week 1? We left feeling very positive, even though it was a loss.
I can't believe you guys haven't even mentioned this yet. Do you guys even know?
What's that?
Even know what's happening Sunday?
Oh, we know. We've talked about it a lot.
Yeah, we've had couple Donnybrooks
Nick's
about it.
already braced the idea that you were going to let him down with answering it because you're not from here, and so it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, Taylor Swift, who's from your same hometown, would have a great answer, but I don't know about you.
No, you guys still don't even know what's happening Sunday.
Oh, you're right. I guess we don't know.
Everybody listening, okay, is going to get to not only hear but see this voice for 3 hours.
Look at that.
From Sunday from 1 to 4. Can you guys, I mean, Nick, you're getting paid to be on the best sports talk radio station in Cleveland, who arguably have the most diehard fans in the NFL.
Correct.
Number one, you bring up dumb topics like the Niners should trade for Kirk Cousins because Purdy's out for a week and take on $28 million.
Don't believe how that's how it was presented.
You don't even do any research to know that the color analyst on CBS, you ever heard of it? For Browns Ravens, Sunday at 1, is none other than your boy, the guy that says later dudes every week to you. I'm calling the game on Sunday.
I think the Fox coverage is just, once you had Fox coverage, it's just a little tough. I mean, I'm excited for it. I think you do a great job, but, you know, coming off Fox coverage here.
I thought the question was going to be whether or not I could give you a shout-out or mention you on air again.
I mean, I think
that would be nice.
I believe you promised something last year and didn't deliver on it.
Well, first of all, I didn't promise. And secondly, if I do say on air on Sunday, clowns on Sports Talk Radio, I'm referring to you.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, any mention of Nick Wilson will do.
Does that okay? If that counts, then there is a possibility that, depending on how the rest of this interview goes, John, I'm not talking about you. You're more normal. But depending on how the rest of this interview goes, if I say, listen, I talk to these clowns on Cleveland Sports Talk Radio every week, you are the clown, Nick.
Oh, that's fine. No. Yeah, Daddy just likes exposure. Browns are running it back with their kicker who missed an extra point and a field goal last week. No competition brought in either. Do you like this move by the Browns, keeping the kicker that can't kick?
Yeah, I'm fine with it for this week. I mean, the thing is like, I think it's a little bit of a fairy, a little crazy that people think like a fairy tale that you can just automatically bring anybody else in and they're necessarily going to be better. They just had a competition. The whole offseason was a competition. The whole training camp was a competition, and this guy won. And he missed 2 kicks. What's concerning to me is that he pushed them both right. like the exact same kick. That like I don't understand much about kicking. I don't understand why he wouldn't make more of an adjustment. And everybody listening has suffered through a lot of Browns losses over the years. I feel like that one was way up there, dude. They dominated that game. They were. I watched it twice. They were clearly the better team. They dominated, and to lose that game, that's like I don't know how many games you guys are expecting them to win this year, or they're expecting to win, but that should have been the first one. That was actually a very, very impressive effort, other than the scoreboard.
Yeah, no question. So, Ross, you mentioned you're on CBS. You're on the call this week. It's you and Tom McCarthy, if memory serves me right. And are you guys going to discuss the 30th anniversary and the idea that the Ravens are doing basically a parade before the game to celebrate the idea that they took the Browns from Cleveland?
I don't know how much time we'll spend on it. I'm aware of it, that's for sure. And I'm sure it will be addressed during the broadcast. I don't know. We don't really have those meetings yet, Jonathan, but it could be our sideline reporter, Amanda Balionis, who does an outstanding job. Maybe she'll talk about it. It's certainly possible that Tom and I discuss it as well. My understanding is that they were planning it, for the opener before the schedule even came out. But I don't know that that's going to make people in Cleveland feel any better about it.
Ross, some folks have said, given that the Browns are 12.5-point dogs this weekend on the road, you've got the Packers and then the Lions, and then the Vikings in London, and then after that, the Steelers. There's some scuttlebutt about we're not sure when the Browns are going to win again. If you look over the next 5 games, felt like the Bengals was the most winnable game. What is the next most winnable game on the schedule for the Browns?
I wouldn't even look at it like that. I would look at it like if they play the way they did against the Bengals, I think there's a very real chance they win a couple of those games. I mean, watching them, looking at their roster, and then actually watching them play, they are definitely better than I thought they'd be. I mean, that defense was outrageous. First of all, I love this Wessinger dude. Secondly, Miles is just Miles, but McGuire had a good game as well. Mason Graham, down near the goal line, almost got a safety on Burrow. And then Sampson and Fannin, Flacco threw them the ball like 15 times. It seems like they caught it almost every time. I would just say, one of my big takeaways in my notes watching it, that's about as impressive of a rookie debut, rookie draft class opening game as I can remember. Right? If you think about what Sampson did, what Fannin did, what Schlesinger did, to a little bit of a lesser extent, but still what Mason Graham did. Bond, I think, had a catch or two. And you're not even including, obviously, the 2 quarterbacks you drafted or the running back who may or may not, I guess, play this week. Reportedly meeting with the NFL today. But they have a chance, especially if Judkins ends up being a dude, they have a chance to have a really, really good draft class. So that's kind of what the most interesting aspect of them is they have like 2 things going at the same time. They have kind of this core group of guys that have been around a while with Denzel Ward and Miles and Batonio and a couple of the other old linemen, and to a lesser extent Flacco, obviously, back and forth. But then they also have kind of a young group of guys that look like they're all legit NFL players already. So if you're looking for something to be excited about, that would probably be it. Is that, number one, the Browns are way more competitive than some people thought they'd be, and number two, it looks like they might have nailed this draft class.
Yeah, a question I have, Ross, and we've kind of been debating it all throughout the show, is, Harbaugh's got now 17 blown double-digit second-half leads. He had to talk about it yesterday in his press conference as the most by any coach since at least 1991, and it was such a great game against Buffalo until about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Are we catching Baltimore at the worst time? Like, I feel like historically you can catch Baltimore in the second half and maybe just not stepping on your throat and you can dive back into a game. But I feel like Harbaugh is going to have a point of emphasis to almost put an exclamation point on this one.
I think it's a fair question. I'll say this, and I mean this in all sincerity. You have to be pretty darn good to have that many two-score leads. Like, that's not a common thing in the NFL. So that does say, especially since 2021, I think, Jonathan, they've had 8 of those, where they blew it.
Mm-hmm.
So on the one hand, I mean, there's probably teams that haven't had 8 double-digit leads in the last 4 years. It just doesn't happen that often in the NFL. They averaged 9 yards a play against the Bills and lost the football game. I mean, I've never heard of that. It's almost a first down every play. They are like a statistical, analytical juggernaut that, for whatever reason, they are not able to close out certain games. Now, in fairness, some of those things were super fluky, man. Like, I mean, Dawson Knox tips the ball with his hand on 4th and goal. It goes up in the air, and then Keon Coleman catches it. Derrick Henry, who almost never fumbles. They had some quirky things go against them, but my response to that would be they also had several controllable things that they didn't control, that weren't fluky, that weren't, things that happen every once in a while. The crazy part is both the Ravens and the Browns were clearly the better team in their game. They both lost by 1 point. They both had a kicker miss at least an extra point. They're both teams, like, the storyline similar. The difference is probably just the expectations coming in. I can see where you're saying that, he'd have them on point. I think the other part of it could be true too, though, which is like, I don't know if you saw, but Clemson almost lost to Troy in college football last week. Like, maybe the impact of what happened, maybe the Ravens come out sluggish. Maybe the Ravens don't have a great week of work because they're still all mad about what happened, and maybe it affects them that way. There's really no way to tell.
Ross, week 1, we saw Lamar versus Josh Allen in a great shootout. Then we saw Baker Mayfield with a huge game-winning touchdown to Emeka Egbuka, one of his 3 touchdowns. Sam Darnold wasn't necessarily special, but he's still a starting quarterback in the NFL. Is it time to crown the 2018 NFL quarterback class as one of the absolute best in NFL history?
I think it's really, really good. I think there's a chance that last year's is really good. If you think about it, I think last year's might end up being really good as well with Jaden Daniel. I mean, all those guys look to me like they're at least capable starting quarterbacks. And for a couple of them like Nix and obviously, Jaden Daniels to get their team to the playoffs, that's impressive. But, yeah, I mean, just Josh Allen, Baker, and Lamar has to make it a top 10 class ever, probably top 5. I mean, I think it rivals, we might start to talk about it rivaling 1983.
You mentioned Caleb because he's part of that class that you got into. Did you? I don't know if you read Ty Dunn's piece at all, but like, what is going on there? Do you feel like there's that many problems behind the scenes, or it just kind of got off the tracks and just never got back on it, and now it has a chance to?
I did not read the article yet. I've heard some parts of it. I guess I would tell you that none of that surprises me because I had heard some of that stuff behind the scenes myself. And I don't think a lot of that, I mean, it matters, yes, but maybe something like this helps them get to the other side and helps them moving forward. But, yeah, I don't think a lot of those things were that big of a secret with people that talk to people, I guess, is the best way to say it.
Ross, great stuff as always. Despite your abuse of me, I I guess I'm excited now to listen to you on the game on Sunday, in spite of your abuse of me. No,
The
great
shout-out's going to be great, Ross. Can't wait.
Yeah. Remember, Cleveland Sports Radio Clowns.
And Cleveland Clowns is hard to say back-to-back, so give yourself some space in between there.
Or pluralize it, and make sure to really stick the landing on Nick Wilson.
All right, so I'm not going to say Nick Wilson. Like, I'm not. And they'll be like, "You're just plugging your guy, aren't you?" I'd be like, "Yes, I am just plugging your guy."
I don't see a problem.
And then you're even saying it on the air, so then there'd be proof that you coerced me in it. Remember last year when I did Ravens Browns? That was the Jameis Winston Browns win last year over the Ravens. So you never know. Before I let you guys go, before you let me go, are the people really mad about the Ravens celebrating the 30 years thing?
Yeah, big mad.
Yes,
yeah, big mad.
I'm the people.
Not even joking, Ross. Like, very, very upset.
Tell me about it, Nick. Tell me about it. I like to know the pulse of the people.
It's tone deaf as hell. You could have celebrated it literally any other Sunday, and it would have been fine. You've won the war. You got the Super Bowls. You got the Hall of Famers. We got the crap. You don't need to remind Clevelanders that we got the crap, especially when I grew up hearing from Baltimoreans, which is a dumb name for people to be calling themselves, but Baltimoreans cry about the Colts for 12 years just to be Judas themselves. The whole thing can sink into the sea as far as I see. Is that about good?
Got it. That was actually kind of poetic. All right. I will, I won't see you guys. You'll see me Sunday.
Later, dude.
Later, dude.
Ross Tucker there. That was Odyssey NFL insider Ross Tucker.